O wisdom, that comest out of the mouth of the Most High, that reachest from one end to another, and orderest all things mightily and sweetly, come to teach us the way of prudence. O Sapientia, or O Wisdom, is the first of the 7 great O Antiphons, an ancient and venerable collection of prayers in the Western tradition of the Church. These prayers are used at evening prayer for the 7 days preceding Christmas Eve, sung as antiphons, or musical refrains, at the beginning and end of the Song of Mary, the Magnificat. Each antiphon addresses Christ by a different title or attribute, and all begin with the Latin interjection O, thus the name O Antiphons, to express the depth of the desire to see Christ come. These antiphons encapsulate both the cosmic and the human desire for the incarnation of God, the central event in this world's story. The antiphon O Sapientia addresses Christ as wisdom. The term or concept or personification of wisdom is developed at great length in the Old Testament, especially so in the collection of writings known as the Sapiential books, or the wisdom literature: Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Wisdom of Solomon, Song of Songs, and Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus. Wisdom is the principle by which all things are created and ordered. The order of the cosmos is so obviously laudable that not only did all the greatest thinkers of ancient times recognize and revere the order of nature, but so too have the brightest scientific minds of our own time, thinkers like Albert Einstein, Georges Lemaitre, and Max Planck. The apparently self-organizing tendencies of the universe, from the quantum level all the way to the galactic, are marvelous to behold, and though it's said to behave according to blind laws, and to have been moving in the direction of entropy since the first moment of the Big Bang, the cosmos nevertheless appears to us to be ordered mightily and sweetly. And we, as humans, recognize all things ordered mightily and sweetly, because wisdom shares itself with us. We can partake of it. We can order things mightily and sweetly, first by way of imitation, and then in newly creative ways, though our creation is always sub-creation, and our wisdom is itself, just like our existence, derivative. But we know this from mere scientific observation. We know that we aren't self-originating, but are rather made up of the stuff of the universe. The matter in our bodies is stardust, and our energy is converted from that very matter. And though science can really say nothing to or against this point, our reason itself and our creativity have a source, too. When we practice wisdom, we borrow from wisdom. It's wisdom that reaches from one end of the cosmos to the other, a fine usque ad finem, and so it stands outside of nature, beyond it. Yet at Christmas, wisdom, the uncircumscribed, became circumscribed, and the womb from which he came forth was thus called more spacious than the heavens. Wisdom, which ordered all things mightily and sweetly, was born into a chaotic world and had a feeding trough for a bed. Wisdom, which comes out of the mouth of God as the Word, the Logos, that great ordering principle of Greek philosophy, became a baby unable to speak words. This great fall of wisdom into circumscribability, chaos, and silence is, of course, wise, in a wisdom that confounds all wisdom that has separated itself from the source. I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the discernment of the discerning I will thwart, says God. And since in the wisdom of God the world did not know God through wisdom, it pleased God through the folly of what we preach to save those who believe. For Jews demand signs and Greeks seek wisdom, but we preach Christ crucified, a stumbling block to Jews and folly to Gentiles. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ, the power of God and the wisdom of God. All wisdom in this world which turns from its source becomes darkness, but the true wisdom is accessible to all who have faith and approach it, because true wisdom is a person. And it's that person, the wisdom of God, the Word of God, that we anticipate with this antiphon. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.